whether you watch these every week or this is your first time joining us, we would really love if you liked, subscribed, and shared these videos with your friends. So last week, we talked about the wisest man who ever lived, a king named Solomon. Solomon's wisdom, along with the wisdom from a few other people, was written down in the book of Proverbs. I'm really excited that you're watching this today because we're going to look at something written in an ancient proverb of Solomon's that will help us when faced with tough situations. So I want you to imagine being a young king with the opportunity for the God of the universe to give you whatever you wanted. What would you ask for? When this happened to King Solomon, he asked for wisdom. And God was impressed and gave Solomon a whole lot of it. Much of the wisdom that God gave Solomon was written down in the book of Proverbs. And following the advice in the book of Proverbs can help us live wiser and better lives. Since that wasn't just God's heart for Solomon, it's God's heart for us too. So for today, let's check out some of that wise advice that God gave Solomon. Proverbs 22:3 says, "Wise people see danger and go to a safe place, but childish people keep going and suffer for it." So for many of us, this will be pretty easy to understand. When faced with danger, protect yourself by finding shelter. And when we think of danger, it's important to kind of broaden the definition beyond the most extreme situations like a tornado coming into your town or a fire in your home. Dangerous situations could also include lying to avoid getting in trouble or talking bad about your friends to others. All situations in life have an element of risk when not treated with wisdom. So first, let's suppose a friend of yours named Jake finds the answer key to a really important science test. It has the answers to the entire thing, multiple choice, true, false, and the dreaded short answers. Your friend has always been quick to include you in the happenings, and this situation is no different. Jake seeks you out to give you the answers and help you score well in the test too. It's a tempting proposition. Science has never been your strongest subject, and a good test score would definitely boost your overall grade. Now, you could let your brain think of all the praise you would receive from your classmates, teachers, and even the principal for the perfect score you'd receive on this really hard test. Or you could dream of all the riches you'd receive when your parents bump up your allowance for such an incredible science score. But obviously, cheating is not the wisest choice. At this point, you might be asking, well, then what is the wise choice? I'm glad you asked. Using this scenario, let's check out 3 easy steps that we can take to avoid the danger. First, stop. It's important to take time in your day to stop. When you stop, it keeps you from jumping straight into a bad decision. Although acing the test would have had you dreaming about receiving your college acceptance letter to the top university ever, you would want to stop because stopping gives you a chance to process the right choice. Next up, step number 2, think. Thinking gives you a moment to consider the consequences of a bad decision. This could give you clarity to avoid whipping out your phone as quickly as you can to snap a photo of the test. And thinking would give you better judgment than sharing the entire test to all your classmates via text or pulling out your phone in the middle of the test to copy down the answers. None of these are really good choices. And not thinking does not always lead to the wisest choice. Thinking would allow you to ask yourself, if I cheat on my science test, what's going to happen? If I take pictures of the answer key and share it with everyone, is that what Jesus would do? And if I take out my phone during the test to copy the answers, is that godly wisdom? Thinking leads to the 3rd step to avoid the danger. Act. Once you've stopped and taken time to think, then it's time to make your move. It's time to go to your safe place. So, back to our scenario. When offered the opportunity to cheat on the science test, the safe place is to decline looking at the answer key. The safe place is finding extra opportunities to study for the science test because you walk into science class. Maybe your safe place is encouraging Jake not to cheat and ask him to turn in the answer sheet to the teacher. From the very beginning, God designed people with the ability to think and act according to his wisdom. With God's help, we can stop, think, and act on the wise choice. The safe place is not always the easiest option, but following God will lead to the wisest option. At times this will be easy, and at other times it might be really difficult. Regardless, God is always with you. Through all situations, God is there to help us make the wise choice. So don't forget what we read in Proverbs 23. Wise people see danger and go to a safe place, but childish people keep going and suffer for it. Danger takes all shapes and sizes. God gives us the ability to recognize it, and to do this, we must not plow through the situation without thinking. We have to stop, think. If you need help thinking, find someone who is wise to help. Then we must act and move to our safe place. Wisdom is only effective when it's put into action. So as we close out here today, I would love for you to think more about your life, your situations, your influences, your danger. And then ask this question: what could keep you from being wise? Don't forget, it's important to stop, think, and act to help us live our lives with God's wisdom. But some things might get in the way. So take some time to think about those things, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and share, and love Cubed.